Family, what it do? It's your girl Toot, and I am back with another video. Hey, listen, like, comment, share, subscribe. That's all you got to do to support the channel, and it's absolutely free. So goddamn do it. You feel me? Now listen, you guys know, ever since Naziah Harris has been missing, we have been reporting on any update whatsoever in regards to her in the case. Now we all know that the trial starts in October, prayerfully. You feel what I'm saying? And I hope that everybody who's involved get their ass dealt with. That's just it. That's all. You know what I mean? Now we did a lot of the testimony, but some people was excluded from being on camera. One of those people was Brooklyn. Shout out to Miss Parker. She had sent me her half of the transcripts because she was tripped out. Like, you got to watch this. You got to look at this. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to look at that. You know what I mean? I'm going to put it on the screen as well because I know I talk a little fast. So you guys will actually be able to see what I'm saying too as well. Give me a second. I'll put myself up on the screen. And yeah, we're going to go through this. I'm just gonna be honest with you. You know, I know you're supposed to have a certain etiquette and a certain tact. I don't have any when it comes down to this case. I'm pissed off about it. It's pissed me off. I feel like it's just certain things that just shouldn't happen. No, hold on. I don't zoom on here. Give me the damn. I don't want to make it that big. Well, shit, y'all can see good now. Let me just minimize me a little bit. Yeah, but I don't know who not to like. So, you know what I mean? If I have random outbursts, I don't need to check. You know what I'm saying? It's just because this shit be pissing me off. Now, this will be Marquita's daughter, Brooklyn. You know what I mean? And we're going to go through her testimony. So it starts with, they ask, I guess, who she is. The judge, the people call Brooklyn Finney. The court, raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? She says, I tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. So they test them. They got her in there. She get in here. Come up, open this door, pull it open, have a seat right there, take your time, blah, blah, blah. So here we go. They say, good afternoon, Brooklyn. She says, good afternoon. Brooklyn, how old are you? 9. I don't even got a fucking drink. I don't even got a drink, bro. What time? It's 2 o'clock. Because see, shit like this, I mean, dog, 9? For real, before we even get into this, before I get aggravated, everybody think back to when they was 9. Now, I know some people got stories similar to this, but just really think back when you was... What the fuck was you doing? All right. Brooklyn, how old are you? 9. 9, all right. Brooklyn, when is your birthday? February 3rd. You know what I'm saying? Of what year? 2015. Okay, in Brooklyn, do you know the difference between the truth and a lie? She says, yes. She says, all right. So I'm going to ask you some questions about that a little bit, okay? So if I said, Brooklyn, it's snowing in this room right now, is that a truth or a lie? She says, that's a lie. She said, it's a lie. Why is it a lie? And she said, because it's not snowing. And if I said, Brooklyn, you're sitting down in a chair right now, is that the truth or a lie? She said, that's the truth. And why is it the truth? Because I'm sitting down. She said, okay, so demonstrating that you know the difference between the truth and a lie. And we only talk about true things, right? And is that yes? She said, yes. She said, okay, thank you. Brooklyn, do you know why we are here today? You know what I'm saying? The little girl says, yes. Question, why are you here? And she says about Jarvis Butts, all right? And what about Jarvis Butts? She says, he tried to put his hands on me. Okay, now let's stop there. Now, this is the shit that confuses the fuck out of me when it comes down to this twin shit that Marquita and Shannon got going on. Now, listen, I love all my siblings, okay? But the moment my sisters, whoever the fuck, try to put their hands on my kid, that sibling shit that we had going on does no longer exist. You feel me? Because you didn't compromise the whole goddamn family if you really want to be honest. But let's just keep going. All right? He tried to put his hands on me. Question. Okay? And do you see Jarvis Butts in the courtroom today? Do you want to stand up and look around? The answer is no. Question. No. Okay. Miss Ripley, Your Honor, would the court ask everyone to remove their mask? And you know what? I don't understand why the court allowed that. with Jarvis, because he wasn't having the mask on because he was scared of a fucking germ. He wanted to wrap the mask on so nobody could see his dumb ass. You know what I mean? And I hope to God when the trial start that is not even, he can't wear it. You know what I mean? You didn't have no mask on when you was in here fucking with these children, bro. I don't understand why they get them so many rights. You know what I mean? But anyway, let's go. If there's anyone in the courtroom who has a mask on for purposes of identification, please take your mask off. Now, in Brooklyn, can you stand up and look around again? All right? Take your time and look around the whole courtroom. Ms. Ripley, Judge, I don't believe that anyone followed your rule. You know what I'm saying? Have a seat, Ms. Brooklyn. I'll state again. If there's anyone in the courtroom that has a mask on, to take your mask off at the time. Now, to me, for them to be able to do that, Jarvis probably did not take his mask off. Now, I'm not the smartest motherfucker, but it looks like to me, by this people saying that everybody didn't follow the rule, he was the one who excluded himself from the mask. Now we know why everybody had fucking amnesia on the stand and acting like they didn't see this man. Like, it's pissing me off. So now, she asks it again. You know what I mean? Can you stand up again if you need to, Brooklyn? The witness, yes. By continuing, who do you see? Everybody. You see everybody. Do you see the person that you know as Jarvis Butts? She still says no. Okay. Okay. All right. How is it that you know Jarvis Butts? And she says, my cousin. You know what I mean? Question. Your cousin Desire? A, yes. Miss Brooklyn, go ahead and make sure you speak into the microphone. All right? In Brooklyn, I want to show you a photo real quick. It's been marked as the people exhibit. Okay? May I approach, Judge? She lets her approach. Brooklyn, do you recognize the person in this photo? You're shaking your head up and down. Is that a yes? She says yes. And who is that you recognize? She says Jarvis. Okay. I don't know, before we proceed, I don't know what that nigga looked like before he went to jail. Now, I remember seeing him with the long hair and shit. But this was a situation that happened with many, many, many people who took the stand. Now, we just looked at Annette's testimony last week. And we see for a fact that Annette act like she couldn't see. King was another one who act like he didn't recognize him. You know what I'm saying? And now this baby is not seeming to recognize him too. So I don't know how drastic shit changed. But nobody seems to know this nigga when he's in court. You feel what I mean? Okay, thanks. So you said that you know Jarvis through your cousin Nasiah. She looked like she nodded her head. She said, hey, no verbal responses. Is that a yes? She says yes. Okay, question. Okay. And how is it that you know him through Nasiah? She states, because of my auntie. Your aunt? Huh? Your aunt. Who is your aunt? She says, Shannon. Okay. Your aunt Shannon. Okay. And tell me what you said, that you're here because of Jarvis Butts put his hands on you. She says, no, he tried to have sex with me. She's 9. She's 9. Okay? 9. She tried to have sex with me. Okay? Tell me about that. One time it was me, my cousin Nasiah, and my other cousin Janiyah. Okay? He said he was going to take us to the store, but we ended up at his job, and then he was trying to have sex with my cousin Janiyah. I mean Nasiah. I think both. I'm gonna be honest with you. Okay? Now, this is some sick shit. So now we know that, Annette and Shannon was allowing him to pick up the girls solely. All of the girls can go with Jarvis or whatever. It don't seem like Vari and none of the other little dudes will ever be in the car. But the girls go. Not only do they go with him on outings and errands, they also work at his shop. I don't know about y'all, but I smell a lot of shit. And what it's saying to me is what I've been saying from the beginning is Annette and Shannon know what the fuck them little girls was going up to the shop to do. And shame on y'all. Shame on y'all. You know what I mean? But anyway. Okay, so this one time you're talking about, who is all there? You, Nasiah, and Janiyah shaking your head. Is that a yes? She says yes. Question. Okay. And you said you're at his work. She said, yes. What do you know what kind of work he does? I think cars. Cars, okay. Describe the place that you were at. Were there any colors? Any? It was a red and yellow, looked like a castle. Now here's the thing. We went through this whole thing. I did a video like who was Frank, okay? And I brought up the yellow and red shit. It's like he always like this ketchup and mustard type shit. And that's why I was kind of like really it was like coincidental. Like when she went missing, that yellow and red fence that she, the bus dropped her off by. I always felt like it was weird. And that's why we did a deep dive to see who lived in that motherfucker. Because, I mean, at one point, I almost thought that might have been the Frank house. Just because who knew some shit yellow and red. Now, it looks like to me that she's describing the shop, you know what I mean, that's the one prior to 9,000 Connor. So what makes this very disturbing is that, you know what I'm saying, when some of this stuff was taking place, Naziah wasn't even 13. She was probably shy of that, you know what I mean, when a lot of this stuff was occurring. So I just want people to keep in mind, this was not the Connor's address, which she's describing to me. This has to be the one where he has two across the street from each other. Now, we did a whole deep dive in this motherfucker, and we went around the whole city of Detroit. And we went back into the crates to see when he got some of these businesses. And he loves to make them that color. But let's get back to it. It was a red and yellow, looked like a castle. Question. And Janiyah, I'm going to show you some photos. They're already admitted. I believe it's people's 4, 5, and 6. She asks if she can approach. She says yes. The court, I believe you just called her Janiyah. Ms. Ripley continuing. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I call you that? I'm sorry, Brooklyn. All right. So I'm approaching with people's 4, 5, and 6. Can you tell me, do you recognize what's in people's 4 in this photograph? She said yes. And what do you recognize that as? She says Jarvis's job. His job. And when you say his, who are you talking about? Jarvis' job. Okay. And what about in number 5? Same thing. The same thing? Okay. What about in number 6? In his job. Is that the inside? No verbal response. Is that a yes? Yes. Okay. We looked through Jarvis's job. If you guys want us to do that, if we had some time, I could take you back through it. You know what I mean? Or whatever. That particular place, we couldn't get far in it, but we can get in there enough to where you can kind of get the gist if you do not have the visual and you don't feel like going through the playlist. Okay, thank you. Now, this first time we're talking at his job with you, Naziah, and Janiyah, what happens there? She says he was having sex with Naziah. She's 9. She's fucking 9. Okay? Now, I want to say this because a lot of people, women sometimes, we tend to give niggas a pass for whatever the reasons. And I know for a fact, I cast a lot of blame on Shannon and Annette, and a lot of other people in the motherfucking family. You know what I'm saying? The men who was in it, everybody, right? But here's the thing. This is a sick-ass man problem. And regardless of the fact of who may, at the end of the day, be responsible for being the one that physically unalived Naziah, he was still a sick bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, your daughter's there. And we know that Janiyah is younger than Naziah. So if this little girl is 9, bro, like Janiyah can only be 10 or 11 tops. But see, you got to also keep in mind that this was at the old job. Okay? Naziah disappeared in 2024. Okay? So if they were still at the old job, you dig what I mean? That brings us back to 2022, 2021. So now you got to subtract 3 from these babies' ages. That's some sad shit. And then this type of things that don't make me understand how Marquita can have the type of relationship she still has with her sister. Because bitch, bye. You know what I mean? Genes, genetics, twinning or not. All right. He was having sex with Naziah. Okay. When you say having sex, tell me, what do you mean? She says what people do. So that means to me, even reading between the lines, she's seen this act millions of times. Because she didn't describe it as being something that she haven't seen before, like it was foreign to her, like a 9-year-old supposed to be. It almost supposed to make them be like, what? But she knows what it is. So she sees this a lot, okay? What people do, okay? What people do, okay. What is it? What when you say sex, does it involve body parts? She says yes. And what body parts of Jarvis are we talking about? She say his private part. Okay. And what does he use his private part for normally? She says to use the bathroom. So she knows. Okay? And when he uses the bathroom, what would come out? The little girl says pee. All right. So his private part that he uses to pee. And what part of Nazaya are we talking about? She says her butt. Now, the thing about this part is that can be confused. You know, we know from the text messages that Jarvis used to anally penetrate Nazaya. So she could be telling the truth. Or she could be describing somebody being hit from the back. You know what I'm saying? But whatever. Either one is ridiculous. Because if this little girl was able to see him having sex with Nazaya, that means that she was Janiyah, his own daughter, was also able to see these acts, which is why I keep saying I pray for this little girl so bad. Because not only do I believe that Janiyah was also a victim, and that's her his own seed, I can only imagine the things that she witnessed. But let's keep going. So she says her butt. So her butt, okay? And so when we have a butt, we've got butt cheeks. And then we got a butt crack, right? Oh my God. I know they got to answer these questions, and I thought that the Nazaya text was bad, but this is top tier for a 9-year-old. This is top tier shit for a 9-year-old. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I really wish I would have got me a drink. The butt crack. The butt crack. Okay. So tell me, is it that you? So tell me what it is that you see happening. They just doing it. Okay? And are they standing up, sitting down, or something else? Sitting down. Okay? Who is sitting down? Jarvis. Jarvis is sitting down. Okay. And where's Nazaya? She's sitting on him. Sitting on him. Is she facing him, or is her back to him? Her back is to him. Okay. And what, if anything, is Jarvis' body doing? She say is going in and out. The court, hold on for a minute. Question, you good, Brooklyn? Yeah, okay. You need a break? Just let me know, okay? So you said he's going in and out. No verbal response. Is that a yes? She answers yes. You know what I mean? Okay. And is any other body part of his touching Nazaya's body? No. Okay. Is Nazaya wearing any clothes? She responds by saying just a shirt. Just a shirt, okay? And what about Jarvis? Nothing. So this yeah, bro. Doing this shit is sickening. But when you don't have no regard for your own daughter, and you're so sick in your fucking mind that you can't even hold yourself to have tact, to where you're lying to say you're going to the store when you know you were going to the shop. So this shit premeditated. You feel me? But you so sick to where you don't even care who looking. Kids are nothing. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you don't even give a fuck that this is your baby mama's sister, daughter who's there that's witnessing this shit. And then you go to try to touch her too. You went there to have a whole quintuapatois with your family and children. Dog. I understand the men. I don't understand the men. I don't understand the men in their family not doing shit. But I don't understand these men at the jail. Like, y'all niggas be all cap and talk. Y'all be talking all this shit on the net. But you got a nigga like him that can be in jail getting haircuts and shit. And the nigga ain't bark. Bro, I don't understand this type. I don't understand it, bro. But anyway. Okay, is Naziah wearing any clothes? Just a shirt. What he got on? Nothing. Nothing okay. Where are Naziah's pants or bottoms, if she had any? On the floor. And at this time, it's you and Janiyah and Naziah there. No verbal response. Is that a yes? Yes. So that means that Janiyah is there. Just, man, she see this too. Where's Janiyah at when this has happened? She was right next to me. Y'all. Do y'all hear this shit? Like, dead ass serious. Do y'all hear this shit? Do you hear this shit, bro? She was right next to me. And is there anything else that happens at that time? No. Okay. Does this happen one time, more than one time, or something else? More than one time. More than one time. Okay. Tell me about the next time you remember. The next time I remember, it was me, Janiyah, and my other cousin, Jalea. And your cousin, Jalea. Okay. And is this, where? Is this at his job? Is at his job again? And is this the same job that you said was in these photos? She said yes. Okay. And what happens at that time? He was doing it with Janiyah. I gotta order me a bottle, bro. Borrow my shit real quick. I don't even give a fuck. Y'all gonna have to hold on. I'm sorry. Y'all gonna have to hold on this. I'm gonna have to hold on a minute. Dead ass serious, cause this shit right here, bro. My heart breaks so bad for Janiyah. I mean, we all know that Naziah is a victim, and we know this. But my heart breaks so bad for Janiyah. It should be getting me emotional than the fuck, bro. And the thing about it is, it's many daughters. It's many daughters he touched. Just keeping it a stack. But it's not as simple as people think. People are scared for their lives. My heart breaks for that girl. Because not only is your mama knew. Your mama knew. Your auntie knew. Your granny knew. There's no way that these kids are describing acts that happened 3 years. Y'all gotta understand. This was fucking me up. When she's describing this shop, this the other shop. Okay? This is the other shop. So this has been an ongoing thing for all of them fucking babies, bro. And in Janiyah, my heart breaks because, see, here's the thing. They have not even yet recognized her as a victim. So she's seeing these things about Naziah and people advocating for Naziah. And she's the same type of victim, but worse in a sense. Because this is your daddy and your mama. Anyway. Okay. And what happens at that time? He was doing it with Janiyah. When you say doing it, what do you mean? Having sex with Janiyah. Okay. And is that the same thing or something different than what was happening with Naziah? The same thing. Okay. And where is Jalea when this is happening? She was like across from me. And how old are you at this time? I was 8. Like I said, 3 years ago. You were 8. Okay. Was this, let's talk about the time. Let's talk about the time with Naziah. Was this in the summer, in the winter, something different? It was, I think, in the winter or I don't know. Okay. Do you remember you were in school? No. You weren't in school. Okay. You said that he almost touches or almost tries to have sex with you. When does that happen? That was after. That was after. After what? He tried to do it with Janiyah. Y'all, let me just explain something to y'all. This motherfucker here is a sick nigga. This nigga, and I don't even know why God blessed this nigga with the type of sperm. Listen, when you looked at the text messages, if you seen how healthy his sexual appetite was with Naziah, it's amazing to me that he's still sleeping with daughters and nieces and fucking shit. Like this nigga, and y'all mean to tell me that it's so many motherfuckers in the city of Detroit that don't got no homeboys in jail? Like this nigga's having conversations with everybody and their mama while he's in jail. You know what I'm saying? And y'all mean to tell me y'all ain't got no cousins that want to beat this nigga's ass? Bro? So this nigga sleeping with, he go to pick them up and he just have a whole day filled. You feel what I mean? Like on some real nigga shit. This nigga's going from Naziah to Janiyah now to this baby. Yo, bro, I swear to God. I don't understand. Listen, y'all. I don't condone a lot of violence. But at this point, it's amazing to me that any of these bras can go bowling. Miss me with that, oh, everybody's a victim shit. Miss me with it. I don't give a fuck. These babies is 8. 6, 11, 10, and y'all are letting them go to the shop like niggas a field trip, bro. Y'all ain't finna tell me these women didn't know this shit, bro. Come on, bro. This shit is sickening. He tried to do it with Janiyah. Okay. Was this at the same time? Was everybody still there, or was this a different time? It was a different time. Okay, tell me about that. So he said that he was going to take me to the store, and then all I know, I ended up at his job. So that's when I was like, no, Janiyah. No, Jarvis. I want to like this. I want to like this, not the store. I want to go home. So he said, let's do it. Let's do it. And I'm like, no, take me home. Take me home. So that when I was like, all right, fine, he took me home. Okay. So when he's saying, let's do it, let's do it. Is it any part of his body touching you? His arm was trying to pull me. So what this nigga was doing was he was introducing her to the program. And he thought by this time that he had her. See, he had already took her with him or she was already there with the Janiyah, Naziah, and all of them being assaulted. So we're going to the store was code from we're really going to the shop. So he was trying to go ahead and plant that seed. So when he told her, let's go to the store, he's thinking that she's already knowing what the deal is. And that's some sick, sad shit because it ain't enough store in the world to where Shannon and Annette is comfortable with letting these babies go with this nigga. And y'all talk about a tight ship. Yeah, we are going to jump into the Shannon video after this. Because now I want to do her testimony after hearing this shit. Yeah, we going to get into it. I'm already pissed off. My liquor on the way, so we good. His arms trying to pull me. Okay. So his arms was trying to pull your arms. No verbal response. Is that a yes? Yes. Okay. Where are you at? Like physically when this happens? His job. So this motherfucker took her to the job. You know what I mean? Anyway. Are you inside, outside, or something else? Inside. Inside, okay. And when he's saying, let's do it, what are you understanding that to mean? since I know that he did it with Janiyah and Isaiah, I a little bit understand what that mean, and I was like, no. Okay. And what? I guess she's trying to say feeling when he's grabbing your arm and saying, let's do it, let's do it. I was a little mad. And what did you understand like his emotion to be? Was he yelling it? Was he saying it softly? He was saying it softly. He was saying it softly, okay. Was he, and you responded, no, take me home. Yes. Okay. And how did he respond to that? He was like, all right, fine. And I noticed your voice kind of changed there. And is it fair to say it was more like an angry or annoyed voice? Yes. And did he eventually take you home? Yes. Did anything like that ever happen again with you? No. Okay, now Brooklyn, I'm sorry to have to take you back a little bit, okay? I want to talk about the time with Naziah. You said that he was having sex with her. Now, mothers in the chat, I just got a question real quick, all right? Did anything like that ever happen with you again? No. Okay. I don't see this little girl not going home saying or telling somebody. I don't see that happening. If a child is uncomfortable and she sees certain encounters, you know what I mean? Even if she innocently says something, she's going to say something. So I just know for a fact that there was like little slippage of, Jarvis do that with Naziah. Jarvis did that to Janiyah. I know that it's no fucking way there was so many adults in a house with so many kids to where there was not something being said. You feel what I mean? And for this girl to sit her thick fat ass on a podium and say that her mama ran the type ship is making me so goddamn mad. It's pissing me off so bad. Bro, you said he was having sex with her. Yes. And it was his private part that he uses to pee in her butt. Yes. Okay. And I guess, I know you said that he was going in and out. Yes. What was going in and out? His private part. Okay. Of where? This girl says Naziah part. In Brooklyn. Do you know when Naziah's birthday is? I don't remember. You don't remember. Okay. Is she older than you or younger than you? Older than me. Okay. How many years older do you think that she is? 5 years. 5 years. Okay. So you're turning 10 this year. Yes. Okay. And Naziah would be how old? She would be 15 next year. 15 next year. Okay. So when you saw this happening, when you guys were not in school, do you know if Naziah had a birthday yet? Don't remember. Don't remember. Okay. No. Don't remember. Okay. So do you know if she was 12 or 13? She was 13. You believe she was 13? Yes. Okay. Was there ever a time that something happened and Naziah wasn't 13? I don't think so. Okay. I don't want you to guess. That's okay, Brooklyn. When these things happen, is there a reason that you didn't tell anyone when they were happening? Yes. Okay. What's the reason? Because I was scared. All right. You were scared. Did anybody say anything to you about not saying anything or saying something? No. No, okay. Did Jarvis ever say anything to you? Huh. Did Jarvis ever say anything to you? No. The ladies who's questioning this child is not a really good person to question a child. Her questions can be very confusing and it can be a combination of different events. when she is saying, did Jarvis ever say anything to you? That is not the type of question that you will ask to me, in my opinion. If, you know what I'm saying, you're trying to understand if a threat was being told. So to me, the line of questioning should have been along the lines, does Jarvis say anything to you to make you scared or uncomfortable? The way she's saying it is you know what I mean? It's weird as hell. And I don't like the way they should have had a child's something to question. She's not doing a very great job. I'm just being honest. All right. That's just my personal opinion. Y'all let me know how y'all feel in the chat. But is it weird to you? She's not. It's right. See, Serena, you feeling what I'm saying? She's not asking questions to me to where she can get out if anything was posed as a threat. You know, I just think it's weird. Okay, but anyway. Okay. Did Naziah ever say anything to you? And she says, no. Okay. What about Janiyah? No. Okay, anything further, such and such and such. Now, let me just tell you something. Now, for a child to be scared to say anything, to me, they gotta feel, and every time where they don't say anything, it doesn't necessarily mean a threat. And I wanna elaborate on that. A person being scared to talk doesn't necessarily mean that they were threatened into not talking. You can have situations where, as you can see, this child, she's been able to see a lot of shit. Now, we also know back in 2022, that would have been roughly around this time, okay? We also know that there was a case done by CPS. We looked at it. We went through it. You know what I'm saying? CPS, that was the first time that Janelle and them reported, or the first time that we seen in black and white where something was reported. Now, we also know around that time, Naziah was questioned, okay? And it seems to me that Janiyah might have also been questioned, and they said that they was touched. Now, at least we know that Naziah said that she was touched. And what happened when CPS got the case? Absolutely nothing, okay? So now you see a child who is seeing kids like her age saying something, all right? You see this. And nothing happens. That too can also pose as a threat, even though no one is saying anything. Because what happens is it makes a child feel like this is a normalcy. You get what I'm saying? So this shit pisses me off. So, beyond measure. It does. All right? Because see, Naziah was questioned. She told the truth. CPS wrote this off as being a low caliber situation, which means that it was not enough information for people to feel like there was a threat for this nigga to not be in the house, which I don't understand that whatsoever. Now, we do know that there are family, you know what I'm saying, that's related to these Harrises that works for CPS. You feel what I'm saying? Or no, all of these people know something. So what I'm trying to say is that Shannon, Annette, these motherfuckers knew a lot more than they try to be is saying. And I just don't understand why nobody has sonic boomed their ass shit. These bitches walking around getting groceries, food, all types of shit. And I just don't understand. I'm ashamed of the culture. I am. Shit, the fuck? I am. Anyway, now it's a cross-examination. All right? Hi, Brooklyn. Hi. My name is Cheryl. I also have some questions for you, okay? Yes. So around this time last year, you were living with your nana? Yes. Okay. That's another lie. Because Annette wanted to swear to God that sometimes if they wasn't living there and blasey blah and all of this and type of shit. Like, they some lying ass ladies, man. I can't stand them. You was living with your nana? Yes. And Naziah was living there? Yes. And her brother and sister? Yes. Okay. What other sister? I mean, what other... Can somebody... Okay, listen. And Naziah was living there. Yes. And her brother and sister? Yes. Okay, never mind. Okay. And do you have some siblings that were living there as well? Yes. Okay. And was Janiyah living there as well? No. That was when she was living in Clinton Township. Okay, see, here's the problem that we're having right now. So this is the time, I'm just trying to make sure I got this timeline right. So this is the time when she was living, when Shannon was living in Clinton Township. So this means that this is the time when Marquita was now living in the house, which now pisses me off even more because motherfucker, you knew too. Anyway, that was when she was living in Clinton Township. Yes. But she was at Nana's a lot. Yes. With your Aunt Shannon. Yes. Okay. Do you still live with your Nana? No. No, okay. Did you also live with your Nana when you were 8? Yes. Okay. And with all the same other people? Yes. Okay. So you say you went to the store. Well, the idea was that you the idea was that you were going to the store with Jarvis. Yes. And would he pick you up from Nana's house? He would already be there. Annette, you said that the nigga was never in the house. Annette, you said that the kids will run out to the car, you know what I'm saying, to see this nigga. But she said that he was already there. You big thick ass, boy, I don't like, boy, you shame on you, bro. He would already be there. He would already be there. Did he spend a lot of time at your Nana's house? Sometimes. Would your Nana also be there? Yes. I would have said, was he ever in Nana's room? Fuck this shit. They already experienced the trauma. Let's get to the meat and potatoes of this shit. Has he ever been in Nana's room? The fuck? You know what I mean? Would your Nana also be there? Yes. And would Shannon also be there? Yes. And so would you ask him to go to the store, or would he offer to take you to the store? He will offer to take us to the store. Okay. Did that happen more than just the times that you're talking about now? No. I think you talked about 3 times. Yes. This baby is getting very tired on the stand. The way that the questioner, I'm sorry, but the way both parties is questioning this baby will make me restless as fuck too. You know what I'm saying? For real. I think you talked about 3 times. Yes. Okay. And this was to you ended up going to the building that was red and yellow. Is that right? Yes. Okay. So the first time that you thought you were going to the store and went to the old building, who was you with? You know what I'm saying? Can you repeat that for me? Neziah, Janiyah, and me. Okay. And do you have any idea when that was? No. It was when you were 8. Yes. Okay. The next time you ended up at the red and yellow building, the shop, who was with you? My cousin, Juju, my cousin, Janiyah, and me. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Was that also when you were 8? Yes. And how do you remember how long after the first time that this time was? Was it a long time, a short time? I don't remember. You know what I'm saying? You don't. Okay. And there was a third time. Yes. And who went with you that third time? Nobody. It was just you and Mr. And Jarvis. Yes. Now, did you have to ask permission to go to the store with Jarvis? I just went. She ate at this time. She ate. Okay, can we stop here? She's 8. This ain't even Jarvis or Shannon's kid. It's Marquita's kid. She 8. She don't gotta ask nobody. It's a system. Bro. I just went. So you didn't tell your Nana that you were going? No. No. And you didn't have to say, Nana, can I go to the store? No. No. I did, but I'm sorry. I did, but I don't know. In other words, she didn't have to ask for permission. Annette and Shannon knew. If them girls wasn't at the house, they was probably with his stupid ass. Hence the reason why when Neziah first went missing, the first person Shannon calls to look for her is her man. You did ask. No. Oh, you were supposed to, but you didn't. Yes. They're confusing the baby. Is that what you're trying to say? Okay. We're there. But your nana will be home these times. Yes. And what about Shannon? Yes. Do you ever say to Jarvis, I don't want to go? Yes. So you mean to tell me that Annette and Shannon and Shannon and Marquita, because shit, for her to be living with Nana, Marquita had to be there unless she was locked up at this time. Who knows? But you mean to tell me that y'all let this baby go with this man and don't even have to say nothing? Bro, did you ever say to Jarvis, I don't want to go? Yes. Yes, and why would you end up going? Because I wanted some snacks. Okay. And at any point, did you talk to your mom about what was happening? A little. Nah, bro. This motherfucker, boy, I'm trying to tell you, boy. Yeah, yeah. Huh? I'm still on stream. Yeah. Okay. I couldn't even fucking wait, bro. Couldn't wait, bro. Man, I couldn't even wait, bro. Because I wanted some snacks. Okay, and at any point that you talk to your mom about what happened, about what was happening. So basically, she went to Marquita, which Marquita, you had to go to your sister, and for y'all still to be over there looking like goddamn the best of friends is all y'all motherfuckers crazy. Facts. Everybody crazy. People who even liked y'all afterwards was crazy. I don't even give a fuck what I'm saying. You know what? It ain't enough cousinship, enough sistership, enough none of that shit in the world. It's already proven that this little girl went to her mama. Which means that it should have been a whole motherfucking Richter scale of shit. Marquita should have flipped the fuck out on Shannon. Shannon should have... It should have been a domino effect of shit going on. And they didn't even give a fuck. Yet, we see the way that Annette slid across the whole birthday party to check this nigga about not being there enough. Ain't that about a bitch? Like, you can't make this type of shit up. A little. A little, after which time do you remember? No. No, okay. Do you remember if it was before the time it was just you and Jarvis? No. It was not, or you don't remember. Don't remember. Okay. Do you know if your mom said anything to anybody about that? No. Okay. Did you tell her about that before Neziah went missing? No. No. It was after. Yes. Okay. I'm sorry, Neziah. So after Neziah went missing, you talked to your mom? Yes. Did you talk to any other grown-ups about it? Yes. Who else did you talk to? My godmother, mama. I'm sorry. My godmother, mama. Okay? And who was that? My grandma. Your grandma? Okay. Did they ask you a lot of questions? No. No. Did you hear the grown-ups talking about Jarvis at that point? No. No. Did your nana or your mom or Shannon ever ask you questions about Jarvis? No. No. I don't think so. You don't think so. Okay. Now, when you were at the shop, what part of the shop were you in? Inside. Inside. Inside the area where the cars are, or inside a different part? Inside a different part. Okay. And is that the room? What's in that room? Like oil. It's like a couch and it's like a front desk. Okay. Like where somebody might check in. Yes. Okay. Do you remember what time of the day it was? No. Was it dark outside or light outside? Light. Light outside. The time you said you saw Naziah sitting on Jarvis's lap, where were you sitting? I was by the door. Were you on a chair or on a couch? Do you remember? No. You don't remember where you were? Okay. You said Janiyah was next to you? Yes. Okay. And just so that I'm clear, is Jalea, is that who Juju is? Yes. Okay, Brooklyn. The times that you were at the shop, the auto shop, do you recall if it was open? Were there people coming and going? No. In the area where there's cars? No. Were there any cars around? No. Do you know if the building was open, or do you remember Jarvis had to open it with like a key? He had to open it with a key. All right, that's all I have. This is a redirect. Brooklyn, when you said that when you were 8, you was with your nana. Yes. And do you know, was it the same house that she lives in now, or a different one? A different one. A different one, okay. Is it still on the same street? It's across the street. Now, I walked you through the map of this. We went on the maps. When we in this video, we can go through it and I'll let you see it again. That's why, let me explain something to you. That's why when an after school teacher reported that Jarvis was coming up there to pick up Naziah, and heads would be bobbing in laps and shit like that. You feel what I mean? When Annette was making it seem like she took Naziah out of the program because they moved, they literally moved adjacent 4 houses down. So it's not like she couldn't make it no more. She took her out of school because the shit was starting to hit the fan. All right? These people knew. They knew. And they didn't care. They didn't care. It's too many grown-ass women in this house for this to happen, not to 1, not to 2, but to almost 3 babies. Shame on all y'all sick, sad asses. Facts. For real. A different one, okay. It's still on the same street. It's across the street. Across the street, okay. So it's the old house. Not across the street, but like down the street. Do you know the street name by chance? It's still on Bedford. Bedford, okay. So it's not the house that she lives in now on Bedford, but the previous one. Yes. Okay. And is that the house? Is that the house? That's the old house on Bedford. That's the only one that you stayed at. Yes. Okay. And I think you said at the time your Aunt Shannon was living elsewhere. She was not living with my nana. She was not living with your nana. Okay. Do you know where? What city she was living in? I don't remember that. Okay, that's fine. In Brooklyn, when you would go with Jarvis to the store and you said that you went even when you didn't want to, you would end up going for snacks. Would he give you anything to go to the stores with him? He would try to give me some money. Ain't that about a bitch? He'd be trying to get these kids more money to buy snacks, but then this girl couldn't even get no pads and a plan B. Make it make sense, bro. Okay. And would he give you anything to go to the shop? And would he give you anything to go to the shop with him? No. Okay. Do you know if he ever gave money to Janiyah? Yes. Okay. And was that when you guys would go to the shop at these times, before or after? We would go to it before. You would go to the shop before. Yes. And then he would give her money after. Yes. Okay. And what about Naziah? Same thing. Same thing. Okay. You know what I'm saying? And then there was nothing further. And that was the end of Marquita's daughter's Brooklyn's testimony. You know what I'm saying? We got other stuff that we're going to get into. You know what's bothersome about this case? Is because I thought a little girl going missing was traumatic enough. All right. So then when you find out a little girl goes missing and then she's pregnant with a grown man's child, you know, that just adds, you know what I'm saying, to more trauma. Okay. And then you find out that this little girl is unalived. Okay. I mean, like, God damn it. It can't get any worse than that, right? But then you realize that grown ass adults was aware. So then it just makes the shit compiled different. But then you find out that it wasn't just one baby. This nigga was having a fucking field day. He had a house full of kids. Girls and boys was getting touched. It's like you just almost like flabbergasted that it can't get any worse than this shit. But then yet it does. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like the more you pull back the layers, the more fucking insane this is. It's like, God dang. One little girl missing is unraveling sick motherfuckers from everywhere. The police department, CPS, family. Like, this shit is, man, boy, y'all stay tuned, bro.